What slang caused moral panic in different eras? Imagine a word or phrase so powerful that it sparks fear across society. Throughout history, certain slang terms and the groups that used them have caused waves of moral panic. These fears often pop up when slang is linked to youth rebellion, crime, or behaviors seen as threatening to social order. For example, in the 1960s, British youth subcultures called the mods and rockers used slang and styles that alarmed adults. The mods wore tailored suits and rode scooters, while the rockers sported leather jackets and loved loud rock music. The media exaggerated their street fights, turning these groups into symbols of chaos. People feared their slang and fashion threatened traditional values and social stability. Long before that, during the Victorian era, sensational stories called penny dreadfuls and dime novels introduced slang that worried parents and teachers. These cheap publications often contained violent or dramatic language that was believed to corrupt young minds. Authorities blamed these stories for encouraging petty crimes and immoral behavior, leading to censorship efforts. Moving ahead to the mid-20th century in America, the rise of rock and roll music brought new slang and expressions that parents and officials labeled as the devil's music. The slang used by fans and musicians was seen as rebellious and linked to sexual promiscuity. This caused widespread concern about the erosion of social norms and the influence of youth culture. Later, during the 1980s and 90s, slang connected to drug culture became a major source of moral panic. Words related to drug use and dealing were heavily stigmatized. Politicians and media amplified fears, often exaggerating the extent of drug problems. This led to harsh laws and increased social control, even when actual drug use was not as widespread as believed. These examples show how slang acts as a marker of identity for certain groups. When that identity challenges mainstream values, society reacts with fear. The words and styles become symbols of broader anxieties about morality, authority, and change. Understanding how slang has caused moral panic helps us see the ongoing tension between generations and social groups. It shows that language is not just words, but a reflection of cultural fears and hopes. When new slang appears, it often signals shifts in society, and sometimes those shifts threaten the status quo. That's why certain slang terms or groups associated with them have repeatedly become targets of societal fear and control.